Hey guys, welcome to my flight simulator tutorial videos. Just as promised, this is the FMC video. I am currently in a Boeing 737-900. It is a British Airways plane. I'm sitting at the terminal at London Heathrow International Airport. And so let's get started. Okay, so we bring up the flight management computer, or CDU, and immediately we see we have two main options that we can use for navigation. First is the FMC system, or the flight management computer, which is a programmable computer that commercial airliners use to navigate, or the ACARS system, which is a kind of a remote system, and if we go to it, we can see different things such as initialize, pre-flight, in-flight, post-flight, stuff like that. It is basically a system that allows pilots to send and receive information from, to or from dispatch, including receiving the flight plan, stuff like that. So a pilot would log into ACARS and either send messages to dispatch or downlink messages and stuff like that. So we will actually not use the ACARS system. So we go ahead and log off, and we will use the FMC. But first, before we do that, I would like to go over what the CDU is and how to operate it. Basically, tell you about the buttons you see here. Okay, so beginning at the top, you have the large screen that displays all the information digitally, and you have two strips of buttons, of 6 buttons on each side, left and right. These are basically dynamic buttons. What that means is that whatever is displayed on the left to the right of the left button strip, so whatever is displayed, like the FMC here, is commanded by the first button. So, and that can change depending on what the page that it is displayed on the screen. So these buttons are called dynamic buttons because they can have infinite functions. Okay, as we go down, we see a few black buttons. First, first labeled initial reference, route, climb, cruise, descent, the menu that shows basically all these, the legs. If you want to view the legs of the flight, basically like a summary of the route. Departure and arrival. This is where we set the stuff like if we're using SIDS or stars. This is where we'd set the runway that we land on. For departure, there's different things. The hold button. So basically, if we're instructed by the air traffic controller to go into holding pattern, we'd set it up here. Progress. This is the mode that is basically mostly used in flight. It is basically a summary of what is going on. It shows here. I'll go ahead and quickly show it to you. It would show here would be from, so the airport that we're flying from, which is Heathrow. 2, it would show this is the until we reach Schiphol, which is basically where we're going to be flying today. So it would be displaying Schiphol. It would be displaying the time that we have until we reach Schiphol, the amount of fuel that we'll have, the distance, and also it'll also show to the next waypoint the distance and time. And of course the wind, the total fuel right now, and the fuel that we'll have when we reach Schiphol. So this is a very, very useful page because it basically tells us a lot of information that we need to know when flying. This is the N1 limit button. You know what? I will go ahead and show you some of these just so you have an idea. So this is the departure and arrival. If we select departure or arrival, basically it tells us all the different SIDS and stars. So that we have, for example, for departure, oh, we can't show right now because the FMC is not configured, but I will come back to this page and I will show you what I'm talking about. So going back to the N1 limit, this is going to be used, this is used if you want to have the speed, instead of having the speed by an indicated airspeed, like if you want to set this as a certain speed, this is using the N1 limit, which is the turbine. So you'd set a certain turbine percentage. It's mostly used for climb, but of course we fly in auto, and this is the FMC does this automatically. But if we needed to override and have our own setting, we'd use this. And the last one is the fix. The fix is basically has nothing to do, so it will not affect the parameters of the FMC. It is just basically a green line that is drawn for navigational purposes, which is a lot used when taking off and landing, coming in for an approach for landing. Because what it is basically a line that intercepts a certain VOR or a certain radar, or radial that if we're instructed, for example, to hit a certain radial before we turn left or bank right, we'd set this so we know exactly where we have to fly to intercept that radial. So this is used in those situations. Okay, so what we'll do now is we'll go to the page that is first displayed when you walk into when a pilot walks into the aircraft and takes a look at the FMC. So the first page that you look at is also very important, is the identification page. So what it tells you the model of the aircraft, the database version, in this case the August 2008, which is the most recent one. It tells us the engine rating, in this case 26,000 hours. This is in hours. And the time frame that the database is active from. So from July 31st to August 27th, 2008. Okay, and this is just the version number for that. Now the next page, it is the position initialization page. So the first thing you see at the top is north 51 degrees, west 29.2. These are the military coordinates that are displayed by the GPS system. So the global positioning system. Global positioning satellite system, I should say. This is the last position that was recorded. So the next thing you see is the reference airport. So this is basically point A. You fly from point A to point B. This is point A. This is where you enter the reference airport. So in this case, Heathrow, which is EGLL. So we go ahead and do that, EGLL. And before I go any further, I should mention, when I type in anything, when you type in anything on the FMC, so we go ahead and type anything, it is first displayed into this area here. This is called the scratch pad, and the reason for that is that anything that goes in here is not permanent until unless you make it permanent. So anything you type in here, and you can type many characters, is not going to be entered or permanently stored anywhere, because it's just a scratch pad. It's somewhere where you enter. It's like a buffer. You enter in the information here, and then you select where you want that information to go.